Every month, thousands of students across Canada and United States get pulled into something they don't fully understand, and numbers just getting worse and worse. But before we start, and please smash this like button for me, subscribe my channel, and we're rolling. In the last 2 years alone, student-linked money laundering cases reportedly jumped 168% in US and 95% in Canada. That is not just the numbers, it's a huge increase. That is warning signals. Because this is not about making quick money, this is about helping criminal group move to stolen cash through the clean bank account that's usually yours. And once your name is attached to that money, the damage can follow you through the years. So in this video, I'm going to break down exactly what money mules are, why criminals target students, how the system works in the US and Canada, what the legal price look like, and how to spot the scam before it touches your bank account. And yeah, this one of those situations where I didn't know usually does not save and it's not gonna work for you. So let us start with obvious question. Why student? Why not some older, or why not some with money? Because students are perfect targets. A lot of students are short on cash. They're looking for side income. They want something fast. They want something flexible, and when somebody messages them with simple job that pays for a few $100s for almost no work, it does not feel like a crime. It feels like huge laugh. That's exactly what criminals count on. They also want people with clean account. A student account often looks normal to a bank. It has regular deposits, regular spending, maybe a little support from family here and there, maybe part-time work, nothing suspicious really. That is the whole point. To a criminal group, a student account is not just an account, it is the treasure. It is a clean layer they can use to move stolen money before a bank or fraud team notice what exactly is happening there. Back in the day, before the digital world became the whole point of banking, laundering money was a lot simpler. Most crime money was cash, and cash is easier to hide than physical world. Let's say criminals could mix dirty money cash into a restaurant or car wash or a convenience store, bar, or some other businesses that handle a lot of cash flow that made the money look more normal. No app, no instant alert, no email, no digital fingerprint on every transfer. It was still illegal, of course, but it was harder to trace. Then the world changed. Digital banking grew fast in the late 2000s and early 2010s. People started using online banking, mobile wallets, instant transfer more often. Bitcoin came in 2009, and even though most people did not understand it at first, it opened the door to a new financial world. After that, Google came, wallet, Apple Pay, and other digital payment tools. Now you could move money with a phone in a second. That helped consumers, but it also made life harder for criminals, because every move now leaves a trail. Banks can flag strange activity, fraud system can spot patterns, payment apps can freeze transfers, crypto exchange can track suspicious flows, law enforcement can follow the chain. So criminal groups adapted. They stopped thinking only in terms of cash and started thinking in terms of speed. That is where money mules came in. A money mule is a person who receives money in their personal bank account and then sends it somewhere else. Sometimes the money comes from a stolen card, sometimes through identity theft, sometimes from fraud. You never know. Sometimes from scam victims. The mule gets told something like, let's say, just receive the payment and move it. Use your account for a small transfer task. You are helping with international payments. It is just temporary job. You will keep 2 or 4% as your fee. That sounds easy. That is trap body. Because the moment stolen money enters your account and help move it, you are no longer just doing a job. You are part of the financial chain, And if that money came from fraud, then your account becomes part of the crime record. In many cases, the MULE is asked to move the money fast, often through a wire transfer, e-transfer, crypto transfer, or another payment method that is hard to reverse. Why fast? Because criminals want the money gone before the bank notices the pattern. It's obvious. This is not a slow business. It's like a race. The slower people die. Now let's talk about the old school method. There is a classic laundering strategy called smurfing. The name sounds silly, but the idea is really serious. Smurfing means breaking a large amount of dirty money into small parts so it's less likely to trigger a bank alert. Instead of moving $100,000 at once, criminals split into many smaller deposits or withdrawals. They may use different people, different location, and different accounts. This made sense in a cash-heavy world. If one person walks in with a huge pile of cash, that is obvious. If 10 people each walk in with smaller amount, it is harder to spot, right? That was the old game. Modern laundering is different, way different. Now criminals do not need to stand in line and bank all day. They can use digital transfer, fake online jobs, crypto wallets, peer-to-peer apps, stolen identities, and temporary accounts. They can recruit people through Instagram, Telegram, Discord, Snapchat, or even job boards. So the old trick was about splitting cash. The new trick is about splitting responsibility. That is a dark upgrade. The money moves faster, the cover story sounds cleaner, and the mule often feels far removed from the real crime. But the law does not see in that way. This is a part that people do not think about. They think the risk is maybe losing the money, maybe getting a warning, maybe some stress. No, you're wrong. The real price is way bigger. Let us say you are 20 years old. You took what you thought was a simple online job. You use a common bank to move money. Later, the bank flags it. Then investigators get involved. Now your name is tied to a money mule case. What happened next? First, your bank may freeze or close your account. This is the easiest way to get out. That means no easy access to your money, no normal debit use, no smooth direct deposit, no comfortable banking life whatsoever. Then you may get hit with a criminal investigation or charges depending on the facts and the country. In the US, money laundering can be treated as a serious federal crime. In Canada, the rules around proceeds of crime and laundering are also serious, and the consequences can be life-changing for you. Then comes the long-term damage. A bank may mark your profile as a high risk. Other banks may see that risk through internal system reporting or future application. Credit history can suffer. Your name can become harder to trust in the financial system, and that matters a lot more than people can realize. Because at 20, your life is just starting. You may want a car loan, rejected. You may want a credit card with decent limit, rejected. You may want a phone plan, student line of credit, an apartment lease, or later mortgage. Suddenly, everything is harder. And not just harder for 1 month, harder for years. That one bad decision can turn into the permanent money problem. Just the big, huge problem. That is the part nobody posts on Instagram. They only post the payout, never the fallout. In Instagram, you can see only flashy and luxury life, but not a background behind it. A lot of people think they can say, I did not know, but in real life, that is not a magic shield. Dude, it doesn't work. If the job is strange, if the money flow makes no sense, if someone tells you to move funds fast, if you are using your personal account for someone else, payments, you are in danger. Just remember that. The law can look at what you knew, what you should have known, and whatever the situation was obviously suspicious. So, I was just doing a job is not a safe answer. If you're handling money for a stranger, especially money that passes through your own account, you need to ask one question. Why me? That question alone can save you and your future. Now let us get a little bit more practical. Here is a 5 very specific red flags to watch for in job description on Instagram, Telegram, or anywhere else online. Sorry, they pay too much for almost no work. So if the post says you can make hundreds of dollars for a few minutes of financial support or payment processing, that is a huge warning sign. This is 100% scam. Second one, they ask you to use your personal bank account. This is one of the biggest red flags. Real employers should not need your private account to receive and resend funds. The job title sounds fake. Terms like transfer agent, payment handler, funds processor, cash app assistant, or crypto helper often sound polished but not explain anything real behind it. They want urgency and secrecy. If the message says do not tell anyone, do this today or limited spots response facts, that pressure is there for a reason. Scammers want you act before you think. They avoid normal company details. It's super common one. No real office, no real website, no legal company name, no clear supervisor, no business email, just Telegram username or Instagram DM. It is not normal hiring process. So how do you defend yourself? First, be skeptical of easy money. If it sounds too easy, it usually is. Second, never give someone access to your personal bank account. Third, do not let friend of a friend language fool you. Fourth, check whether a job has a real company info, a real website, and a normal hiring process. And the fifth one, remember this. If somebody wants you to move money that does not belong to you, you are not just helping out. Please, this is super important. You're stepping into a legal financial trap and might get big trouble with law. This is why students are targeted, not because they are weak, not because they are foolish, because they are busy, they are under pressure, they want easy money and fast money. And now criminals know how to dress up a scam so it feels like an opportunity to them. But their trust is simple. If your bank account becomes part of the crime, your life can change fast. So protect the account, protect the credit history, protect the future. Protect yourself, buddy. Because a few $100 today can turn into a financial disaster that lasts for years. And that is a trade nobody should never make.